everyone. Today's lecture is on Chapter 3, Time and Space. So how do you manage your time and trying to find the appropriate study space to be more effective in your learning? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And time management is probably one of the number one topics that students cite that impacts their ability to fit in everything, to get their work done. So today we're really going to look at ways for you to manage your time and find the appropriate study space. Before talking about time management, we have to talk about the number one cited challenge to managing your time well is procrastination. And so basically, procrastination is putting off something that you know you should do, something that's usually a high priority. And a lot of students deal with it. I deal with it. So procrastination is a normal human tendency, especially if we're trying to avoid doing a major project or something that feels really big for us. So one of the things we want to talk about are what are some ways to combat procrastination. So first, keep your studying, or if you're writing a paper, keep it bite-sized. So break things down into smaller chunks. So for example, I might have a 5-page type paper with 5 to 7 sources. I might break that down into first doing an outline. So I'm going to commit only to sort of outlining what I want to talk about. Then maybe another task might be visiting the MCC library, either in person or virtually, to meet with a librarian to start finding my sources. So keeping your studying or your work bite-sized is really important. Try to turn off distractions like your phone, closing chat windows, blocking other distractions in your work area. Try to treat your studying like you were in a place where you can't have your phone on. It doesn't have to stay off forever, but just sort of keep it off and keep it away. And then maybe develop a reward system. If you get certain things done, hey, numb out on your phone, right? Scroll, look at, text people. So building up a reward system is really important. The things that you love to do, right? It could be exercising, it could be running, it could be taking a walk, it could be skateboarding, it could be playing video games, whatever it is that you really love, have that be your reward once you get a few things off your to-do list taken care of. Reward yourself. Try to study in a place that you're reserving only for studying. I know this is really important, especially if you got a big family and everybody's all over the place, but really try to have your study space be your designated place for focusing. Try to use checklists like to-do lists, and it really helps you see, oh, I am getting stuff done. And for me, to-do lists are essential for me to focus on what I need to do next. And then lastly, the textbook talks about creating a new association with a current habit. So for me, I like to get up in the morning and have coffee. And so what I try to do is when I have my coffee in the morning, I also take a look on my email to see if there's any email that I need to get to. So my habit of getting up in the morning and have my coffee, I want to make sure that I'm starting off my day by also checking my email. So I pair the two together. Some MCC resources that can help you with managing your time and managing your study space are things like Circle In. And you could find that on our website. It helps with connecting with classmates and studying. We have online tutoring, free tutoring through our tutoring center, the TAC. And it's also in person if you're an in-person student. We also have something called Thinking Storm, which is a 24-hour tutoring service. And then Starfish is a network that helps you to make sure that you're staying on track and that you're in touch with people who are in your support network. So check out some of the MCC resources that can help you make the most of your time and your studying. So 3 steps to good time management. 1 is identify your time management style. And in Chapter 3, there's an assessment in there where you can see which time management style you are. And we'll take a look at that in a second. Step 2 is create a schedule. What works best for you? Now, where students often get off track is, they have really good intentions. I'm going to get up every morning at 5 o'clock and I'm going to study for 2 to 3 hours. Well, if you're not a morning person, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning probably isn't going to last very long. So your schedule should really be based on what are your natural tendencies. And during the time management project, we have you look at that. How do you normally spend your week? When are you most alert? Are you most alert in the morning, afternoon, evening? And then create a schedule that's going to work for you. And then step 3, get better at prioritizing. Using your to-do list, but then also saying, okay, which one of these is the most important thing I have to take care of this week, today, in the next hour? Those are the things that are going to help you to stay focused on what you need to get done. So as I mentioned, the time management personalities are talked about in the textbook. There's the early bird who likes to get their assignments in ahead of time and finished as soon as the professor assigns them. The pressure cookers that use that last minute sort of push to really narrow their focus. The improvisers are kind of like the pressure cookers, but they're kind of also making it up as they go along, where the pressure cookers are putting in the time and effort, but they need that last minute rush to get their focus. The improvisers maybe sort of thinking on their feet, so to speak. And a balancing act is sort of like almost all of them, right? Maybe you try to stay on top of your assignments, get some stuff done early, but you're also leaving room to also get that energy towards the end. So just think about which one are you and how can you work with that personality tendency to be more effective. The next thing we're going to be asking you to do, now we started off the semester talking about resources, right? And about what your values are and what are your goals. That was in module 2, chapter 2 is goal setting. And now we want to say, okay, how do I focus on what my goals are, right? Well, you want to identify, just like you did in the goals project, your long-term, midterm, and short-term goals, right? And then you want to set your priorities to accomplish these goals. And that's breaking those goals down into what do you have to do this week? And then manage your time accordingly to those priorities. I have to fit in time to start doing a draft of my, let's say, English 101 essay, right? That might mean I have to forego doing a social event or doing something else. If I can't get it done in time, I may have to, make some sacrifices in other areas of my life to be able to get that paper done. So really looking at, okay, what are my priorities? Can I do this, this, and this, or do I have to cut something so that I can write my paper? That's what we're asking you to look at. And really think about what are your priorities, right? Obviously, for folks, a lot of times it's family. Many of our students are busy working parents. And so you're trying to juggle working full time, having children, all of those things, which is wonderful, but you also have to fit in time for your studies and you have to fit in time to make sure you're taking care of your mental and physical health. And that is the trick, and that is definitely a juggling act. The other issue that we want to tackle is, where are you studying? And is the physical space that you're studying conducive to learning? And again, sometimes there's just no ideal if you have a busy household or things are going on, but really try to find a spot where you have enough light and space. And some people study better if they have a little bit of noise in the background. Some people like it to be more quiet. Know what is best for you and try to see if you can use the same space each time. Go to the library, go to a coffee shop down the street. Find a place that becomes your work zone. And if it's at home, you could keep it with visual reminders of why you're doing what you're doing. And maybe it's calendars from certain classes that you could just cross off that you did an assignment. But really start to think about the time and the place that you put into actually studying. And by studying, I mean reading textbooks, taking notes from those textbooks, taking those notes and putting them down into summary sheets. I'm also talking about writing drafts, doing research to write a paper. All of the things that go into preparing for your classes and your assignments are considered studying, not just studying for tests. So I asked you to think about this. You know, we've had some time in the beginning of the semester here. How has your management of your time been working? Is it effective? Do you have to make adjustments and changes that are realistic for you? Hopefully our time management project will help you with this to really analyze your time, say, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I spending my time on certain things? And then refocusing your time if you need to. Good luck. Let me know how you're doing. And for me personally, time management is a continual process that I never sort of master. I work on it every single semester. I have to-do lists. I have a schedule that I try to follow. So this is a lifelong skill that's going to help you no matter what career you're in or how far you go with your education. Managing your time is going to be essential. So good luck.